So, what's going
Um, I need another little chat with my animals.
on? Okay.
Sedona's getting a little annoyed, I think, with Milo.
Okay. Okay.
She's kind of gone after him twice.
Okay. Just being aggressive.
Yes.
Okay. And have there been any shifts in the house? I'm going back to your, what is it, ex? It feels like he's been doing some things in the house to get your attention.
But he
He's
passed.
been helping. I know.
Yeah.
He's been helping. It feels like he's been.
There has been a lot of changes. I
Okay.
moved in spur of moment. I had to move all my belongings out of his house and into a friend's house. And I was supposed to be going down into a partially finished basement as my space. But my friend's nephew came unexpectedly with a dog. And now there's 3 dogs at the house.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
All together in the same area? They're separated?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The 2 downstairs?
No, I'm upstairs. I haven't been able to move downstairs until now.
Okay.
And they're actually, Will and I are going to swap. Will is going to go upstairs with his dog, and I'm going to go downstairs with the 2 dogs. So it was under construction. There's a lot of insulation. There's a lot of cleaning that needs to be cleaned up and cleaned out of there. So that's happening today.
Okay.
And I was just informed that starting mid-July he's going to finish the basement while I'm there, and he has the basement rented to a couple starting August 1st.
Okay.
So I have only a short amount of time to get a job, some money behind me, and get back into my house or a different living place. Yeah, I've had a lot go on.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Have you felt the presence of your ex? What was his name again?
Dennis?
Dennis, yeah.
No, because I'm still pissed off that he died.
Yeah.
I'm really not happy that the circumstances
It
that
feels like
I'm,
he has not left your side since our talk.
I talk to him a lot.
Do you? Okay. Well, he's totally listening. And
It was a really bad interaction with
he
his.
still feels really bad. Like the girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not only the girl, his son chewed
Have
me
you
out.
talked to them since? Oh,
Yeah.
has more happened?
I really think there was some foul play involved. And I've already contacted the police, and they need me to fill out a formal investigation. But his sons are not going to cooperate. But I don't know if there really was foul play. I think it was maybe an accident.
There might have been some foul play.
I believe there was.
I'm going to ask if it was in line with what you've been suspecting. Let me see.
I'm pretty accurate.
Yeah.
So if I go in, I go to the police, then I bring the risk of retaliation from drug lords.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do I want to go? Do I want to walk that path? And I don't even have a place to live right now, and I need a job, and now I'm going to need a car. And
He wants you to just focus on yourself and getting yourself together. He doesn't want you to worry about all that. In fact, that's why he's been sticking next to you, is because he wants to help you get over that. He doesn't want you involved in it. He doesn't want you even having anything to do with any of it anymore.
yeah.
He wants you to let it go.
What about his son cussing me out over the phone? And
Well, I get stay away. Stay away. So, is there any reason that you need to be involved with his family anymore, or anything? Or can you just wipe your hands of the whole thing and walk away?
there was a life insurance policy, and I'm not sure if that was through IBM or not. And I don't know if the sons have to process that and give that to me. there was some financial and I was given some advice to, technically we were common law. And I was given some advice that maybe I should pursue that more and go after the estate. Because, not go after the estate, how do I want to say it? Pursue what benefits would be available as a common law, but we had separated and I was just moving back in.
I really feel like there's a simple way that this can get resolved: mediator. If there's a way that you can find a mediator who will do this, or an attorney who can act as a mediator, I feel like it would get resolved pretty easily and simply. Well, I don't feel like it's going to be a really big involved thing. In fact, it almost feels as if there's some type of a fine print that if you find the right person, which I think you'll resonate with, you'll really feel like you like this person. And it might be even a court mediator. I don't know how all this stuff works, but it feels like once you find this person, they're going to know this clause that is just completely going to resolve everything. You're not going to have to go through some big, long, drawn-out thing. It's going to be just a matter of sitting everybody down and having a simple conversation and saying, look, this is what we've got, this is what's happened, and now let's just settle this.
Well, Dennis had a big estate, and he was supposed to have had a will, and I know what he told me, but he didn't do, and he didn't put it in writing. So everything he told me has now evaporated. So, it's like, do I go to an attorney? I was given an attorney's name by the mortuary. And
I do feel good about this person.
Go and see what legally, as in,
if you just try to keep it, I just keep getting mediate, like skip over, because lawyers try to draw the whole thing out. But I'm getting that it can all happen in one short meeting. So try to make that happen, and then try to let go of it.
And is it?
You don't need much.
Okay.
Because honestly, you could wipe your hands of the whole thing and just walk away.
Yeah.
You could.
Well, financially, I'm just right now in this moment in space and time. Right now, it's really scary. I know it's going to get better. It's just really scary.
And what's scary?
Just financially, having 2 dogs, no home, a car that's, borrowed.
Okay.
It's just a lot of muck to swim through.
So I know that the best possible thing that you can do for yourself right now, taking this whole legal situation out of this, then let's just look at you and your life and your dogs. Okay? Let's just get everything down to the bare essentials. The more that you can stay coming from like a heartfelt place and not the fear. It's like we always have a choice to choose fear or faith.
Right.
The more you can stay in a faith-centered place, the more everything's going to work out smoothly.
Yeah, I have a knowing that there's several job opportunities that I'm going after, so something's going to hit.
I do feel like it's funny because you're talking about how afraid you are, and I know that we do that to ourselves, but I really feel very confident that you're going to be just fine. Totally. So, but we do that to ourselves.
Yeah.
But here's the test, okay? And hear me clearly on this. This is like one of those moments where afterwards you say, why didn't I just know that it was going to work out? Why didn't I just have the faith? And you feel silly because it turned out so awesome. So I want you to borrow my faith in that knowing and that confidence that you're going to be just fine, and just know it.
I know it under the layers of, oh shit.
Yeah, okay.
So under the layer of, oh my God, when I just take that deep breath in, that big yoga breath, it is okay, because I know it's going to work out.
Good.
I do know that, and then all of a sudden the short
have a feeling of
breath.
dread.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God.
Okay, so
Yeah.
here's what happens. Now, Bentinho Massaro talks about this, and he calls it a 3-day or a 3-stage process. So first you make the wish.
Yeah.
Your wish in this circumstance would be, and here's what your prayer can be as well at this time, because it is important to recognize that there is a system going on outside of you that is contributing and helping with this. I like to call it my divine guidance council. So we need to call on them in this stage 1. So stage 1 is you're making a wish.
Okay.
So the prayer sounds something like this. I accept that I have no idea how this is all going to turn out, and I feel pretty darn scared about it, and I can accept that. So I'm calling forth the power of the universe and the power of the white light, the divine white light, to step in on my behalf and move through me in such a way that creates a miracle in this situation, where I come out shining and so glad I have the faith, and then you can say, amen, so be it, it is done, whatever you want to say to confirm it. So that's day 1. I've made my wish, I've prayed, I've asked for the assistance. Day 2 is, well, you've had all, it's like we have free will. We can
Yes.
make any choice we want
Yeah.
to. We can choose
Good or
to
bad.
be scared to death,
Yeah.
or we can choose to totally have faith,
Right.
or we can choose to go take drugs, numb out,
Yeah.
whatever. We've got so many choices. So the way that the universe works is it's so kind and so loving and so supportive. It'll give us a vast array of options, including the things that have happened in the past. So it'll say, are you sure that you don't want to go back to that really scared place that you used to go when you would be in this situation like this? And then it's up to you to kind of push it back. No, thank you. Thank you so much, though. I really appreciate that. Because there was once a time when I attached to that.
Yeah.
And I liked that almost.
Right. It felt comfortable.
Yeah. It was, my comfort zone.
Yeah.
So the universe is going to go like this, but are you sure that you don't want to? And then you'll be like, no, thank you. You don't have to be upset about the option. I mean, it's very kind that it's being offered to you. And it's a plethora of your, it's something that's been in your field and in your history for a long time. It's a welcome friend. You want the blanket? Do you want the drugs? Do you want that? There's a number of things that can be offered to you.
Support from,
That it's just total support of what has brought you comfort before and has brought you, to even some epiphanies and awakening moments. So they've been good things. They've been good tools. So, but this is your choice to say, no thanks. Thank you so much, though. I love you so much for offering that. And then you go back to that place of peace. And you choose that.
Okay.
And then it's, but how about, what if we try to manipulate the situation to get more money out of this, though? I mean, we could do that. There's that option, too. Well, no, because that would mean that I believe that I need that in order to be okay. And I really want to believe that I will be okay no matter what. I don't need somebody else's money necessarily. It'll come some way. If it doesn't come through that, it'll come through this.
That is so
great
funny that you're
opportunity.
saying that right now because, you finish and I'll
And
tell
then
you.
Okay. So you take, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all these different things will come floating to your consciousness, and they're kind and loving and supportive and neutral. And you just simply are thankful for it, but you don't get hooked on it, and you just say, okay, thank you, no, thank you. I just keep coming back to that place of peace, keep coming back to that place of faith, knowing everything's going to be okay, even if you just sit and meditate for a few moments and clear your mind from the habitual trying to figure it all out.
Right.
And then the third thing that happens, and many people miss this and don't even get there, is the celebration. Oh my gosh. Because I stayed in this totally trusting state, and I stayed in this, it's like you're connected to your higher self when you're in this state of presence. And your higher self is able to orchestrate the most incredible miracles and synchronicities of your life.
Yeah.
And it can't do that if you're trying to take over all the thinking.
I do that.
So when you give up the thinking, when you give up the trying to control everything, and you believe, you could even, if you have to keep your brain active, you can actually kind of start to paste onto your reality what you want your reality to be. It's almost like you have to be of the feeling vibration of what you want that victory to be.
Right.
Now, live as if you live in this incredible house and it's all paid for and you're totally safe with your dogs and you're taking them for walks every day. Paste that onto your current reality. Make that more real and vivid than the one that you're living. Forget about your circumstances right now because you're pulling forth the one that you want and you're going to be in that feeling state. And then when you get to day 3, it'll be totally comfortable because you've already been there. Does that make sense?
Okay.
It's hard to make this jump from this feeling that you're feeling up to this great place.
Yeah.
So the universe is kind of trying to get, the more joy that you can cultivate, the more happiness and trust and all that you can, at the very least, neutrality that you can cultivate right now is going to bring this about the match. So what were you going to say? That's crazy that I said that because...
I have another friend that is right in that place of trying to, hey, why don't you come move in with me? You don't have to pay rent. Why don't you be my partner? You won't ever have to work.
Oh, but they want a romantic relationship.
And I don't.
Okay. Yes.
I'm not interested. I may have made a mistake. I went on a trip just to clear my head, get away. So, and I've been very clear on where I am. It's like, I don't want, and he goes, well, maybe we can get you set up in a business or something. I can give you some money and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, with what? I don't want blood ties, I don't want ties.
Yeah.
I'm not interested.
No.
I'm just not interested. I mean, I'll be your friend, but that's it.
It'd be so uncomfortable being in that situation.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And you can do it on your own. And that's the thing that's like, we all have to come to a time when we decide whether we feel like the universe is on our side or against us. And I have seen time and time again in my own life, as well as working with people, that when you can stay connected to your source, it's like an umbilical cord.
Yeah.
When you can keep that space totally open to your higher self, being able to communicate that direct guidance to you instead of your brain trying to do it. It's like your brain is the ego.
Yeah.
And your brain can work totally against you.
It can.
Or it can help. But usually when you're used to using it to warn you of danger, it's like stuck in a kind of a...
record player?
Yeah, and it's kind of, and it's a dysfunctional thing that it's not working properly.
I get it.
So you either have to ignore it, learn to retrain it. You gotta work with it. But one way, did I tell you about the 2 to 3 seconds? Quieting your mind for 2 to 3 seconds many times a day. That really helps. Because it's like there's just this little crack in your consciousness that's starting to open just a little bit when you're quiet. You were talking about the yogic exercise. So the crack starts to open more and more the more quiet moments that you can take, even if it's just 2-3 seconds. That makes it very easy. You can do it frequently throughout your day, as often as you can, and it just opens that crack wider and wider and wider. Create moments throughout the day when you know that you're going to be going to bed or going to the bathroom or going, just any moment driving. Think of all these different situations in which you know that you're going to have to sit still for a moment and take that time to just quiet your mind. When you quiet your mind, you're also saying, I trust you. I trust you're taking care of this. I believe you're creating a miracle. And you can even affirm to yourself.
Right. I've been doing that.
Yeah. I know everything's working out so incredible for me because it always does. I feel so totally supported. It
was amazing. My friend that had a room available, my friend that had space available for my belongings, and it just opened up. I mean, it was just there. It was boom, boom, boom.
That's how it works.
And he's not looking at me at all for a relationship because he just started a relationship and it's blossoming into something really beautiful. And it's like, you can live here and here's the time that you can live here, because then I'm going to be finishing out that basement, and it's like,
That's awesome.
It's like
it's
boom,
gonna
boom,
keep
boom,
happening
boom,
like that
boom.
for you. And like, I'll tell you, when I first came to Boulder, I had a place arranged to stay. And then that dropped out.
So you've been there.
And I didn't know what to do. And I
Right.
had 3 days to stay with a friend, and then I had to leave.
Yeah.
So I know that place. And what I decided to say all day long, every day, all the time, if I ever worried for a moment, was thank you so much for all the incredible options. Thank you that I have so many options to choose from that I don't have to worry about a thing. And when I first started saying it, I had no options. And then, but I kept saying it all day long with as much faith as I could possibly muster. And then I think after that first day, I had about 3 options. They weren't the best options in the world, but they were options. So I thank you so much. And then it's like it builds, because you're like, now I do have 3 options. It feels more solid, you know, it feels more real to say it. And then the next day, the day I actually had to do something about it, I had 6 options.
Wow.
And when I went to the first one, it was just the biggest miracle that unfolded. And so that's how it works. And I don't think I would have had that outcome if I had not kept you got to keep your vibrational, you got to keep your eye on your vibration. Monitor it every moment of every day and stay on top of it. Don't let it take this little seed of doubt and run with it.
Yeah.
You don't do that. You know, why do that?
Yeah.
For one, it's very uncomfortable. You feel miserable doing it. It really doesn't help anything.
It's worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What good does it do?
And then to throw in fuel on top of my fire, I had my ex watch my dog, and that it just turned out to be a nightmare. It turned out to be, he has no...
Sedona?
Yeah. Yeah, so my ex before Dennis,
Okay. Oh.
he and I had Sedona together, and he loves her to death, and she loves him, but you know, our interaction is not good, and it brings me down.
Okay.
So it's kind of like, you know, trying to focus on getting that to be a more positive place so that he can actually see Sedona without manipulating me. And
Did you say Sedona was picking on your other dog?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it has to do with this situation. Because she feels torn. She's like a stepchild.
Yeah.
She doesn't know who she belongs to and where she belongs. So she's kind of picking on the other one. Because the other one stays with you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so she feels like that little one that's with you is the one who belongs. That's like the real child. I know that you had Sedona first, but this, but to her, in her eyes, because she's being torn between, he's the one that is in a solid situation, a secure situation. I feel like she almost likes the situation with him.
Well, yeah.
I hate to say.
Well, my situation just turned up, you know, upside down. But
Could you let him have her for a while? Like a month or 2? Or maybe if it's a longer period of time, it might feel better to her.
I just know that I could. I just know
That
that
way you don't have to see him as much either.
she's getting older,
Okay.
and I'm missing out on her.
Right.
I didn't have her for the entire winter.
Okay.
Dennis had her and loved her and played with her and enjoyed her.
And you missed her like crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So here's one thing that I had to learn as well about
It's
coming
hard.
here. I had this incredible cat that I loved with all my heart. And I poured my heart out to him, and he kept biting me. And it was because, hang on a second, let me get rid of this thing. He kept biting me because he wanted to really be outside really bad.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't let him outside.
Yeah.
I couldn't. It wasn't a safe environment for him to do so. And he eventually got so upset that he bit my face in the middle of the night. And I thought, you know, I'm so tired of this. You know, I can't get a house yet. I can't get you this cat enclosure and these things you want. And then once I stopped the defensiveness about that, I just kind of went, huh, what's really going on here? And then I actually had a spiritual teacher come to me and say, you know, if you really want to know the truth, and I was like, I guess I do. You know, I knew it was going to be hard to hear, but he said animals have free will too, and you're keeping them against his will. And I just fell apart.
Yeah.
And I started to look for a home for him, and it almost felt like I was living with an ex. Like we knew we were going to separate, but we had to live together for a while, you know? It was so hard. It was so hard. And I was devastated. But
Well, I don't want to
eventually-
give her up forever, though.
I know, and you don't have to, but I think that it would help her to feel more secure somewhere if she could be there at least like a month, and then switch off. Because it's the frequency and the inconsistency of the pattern that's really hard on her.
Well, and we were supposed to have our own space,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, out of the blue, his nephew moves in, and it was just a last minute, okay, yeah, you can come, and my space wasn't quite ready for me to move down into the basement, and
well, and you know, if
it
you
just
think
was
of it
crazy.
this way too, I mean, she's having responsibility for her right now during this time of transition is tough on you too.
It's really tough.
So maybe you do just kind of let her go for a little bit until you find a place, something like that.
Until I get back to my house.
Yeah. I mean, think of it as doing something for her.
It's just hard.
Yeah.
Because my ex is so disrespectful to me, my time, my situation. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
And that's what's really difficult.
Wouldn't that be easier though if it was less frequent?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was really horrible when we first separated because just the way the interactions went. It was just, I've made a lot of mistakes. And those are past, and I'm trying not to make those mistakes, but it's just really tough because my ex is just so, I don't know how to explain it.
If he's, I understand. I think I do.
Jerk. He's a jerk.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. And it's like, if this was a stranger, you would have more compassion to a stranger than you do to me. You just want to hurt me. And that's what I'm having a struggle with, because
He's had a hard time letting you go.
the ex,
Yeah. He's jealous you're out there available to somebody else. He's not liking that. I mean, so try to.
he's with the neighbor.
But doesn't mean.
But I saw him and the neighbor together. It was like, because I'm also very open, and it was their time.
Yeah.
It's their time. And
Okay, so you can see.
Yeah.
You can decide to have the compassion to know that he's lashing out because he's going through something.
because I'm out and available.
Yeah. And it bothers him. It hurts him.
Really? Because I'm really excited to be single. Sorry, Dennis. I mean, I love you, but I'm excited to be single. A little scary. I went out dancing last night and sat next to a group of women, didn't know, got asked to dance, and I just, at the last minute, going, I looked over there, and they're, hey, girl. And we all went out together as a big group of women, and we exchanged phone numbers, and we'll do things.
Oh, that's awesome.
It
Good
is,
for you.
yeah. And that's kind of where I'm at. I just kind of want to be in a place where, because the right one's coming. I know. He's. You actually told me. You had a glimpse of him. Remember?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I had him in mind. I've had you on the mind ever since. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that kind of looks like the guy. I wish I could call her and tell her, hey,
This is where he's at.
The guy is like hanging out at the store I'm at.
I know he's coming, but I just kind of need that little, and I need to be in a nice, good place and not go, I'm moving in a month and a half. I just found that out this morning. I thought I had 2 months.
Right.
Or, almost 3 months. Yeah. I thought I had a little more time. But
Everything is always working out for your advantage and your benefit if you just trust that.
okay.
Everything is always for the better for you.
Well, and if this little fire wasn't lit, would I be as motivated? That it's kind of like, yeah. So
We need that sometimes.
yeah, it's got, here's your motivation. And so, it's a win-win for my...
From the littlest phone call to the reason you feel like taking a right instead of a left, it's all totally being orchestrated for your best interest. So you just got to trust that and just know that. The ugliest things can be the biggest gifts and the biggest blessings, as long as you are open to seeing that. because you're only going to be fighting against yourself in believing otherwise.
I look back at my past, and
It's all been a blessing, right?
well, I fought against myself, and if I would have changed my perceptions, my reality would have been different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. See, so this is your test right now. Not that you're being tested, because you're not.
Yeah.
But from friend to friend.
Yeah. So Dennis hasn't left my side. What did he think when I went to the horse race?
Let's see, what did he think of the horse race? He's rolling his eyes. But he's saying also good for you. Because is that not something you would normally do?
Well,
he's proud of you too.
I didn't drink. There was free, because as a commitment to myself, I'm just, staying. One thing I used was with the ex with Sedona. I became more of a drinker with him, and it was really bad for me. And so I made a commitment to myself to stop drinking for 2 years, just to get healthy and to be connected, because I stopped connecting. And that was my cushion, my locked in, and I don't want to feel this anymore, because I was feeling too much reality of pain, of what the reality of my situation was, and I wanted to cushion it. So I've stopped drinking, and I've started meditating and doing things that are more beneficial and healthy, and I'm coming back more into the light instead of hiding and facing, you know what, if this isn't working out, then you got to change. So there was free alcohol, free wine, free beer. The gentleman I went with, made it very clear that he would like to have me as a partner. And I made it very, very clear that will never happen in my lifetime. I'll be his friend, but that's it. And he's trying to win me over with luxuries. And it's like, no, I'm okay. I just need to buy a car. And I need to get back into my space again. And I just didn't know with Dennis, because I know I got to figure out, part of it was I don't want to go after his estate, because it really belongs to his heirs. I know what he told me, but he didn't follow through. Can he lie on the other side, by the way? Can he fib?
That's a funny one. I've been lied to by angels, but only for my own best interests.
Okay. Because I just wondered if he could still fib on the other side. Tell me what I want to hear, because that's what he used to do down here, is tell me what he thought I wanted to hear, and I'd call him on it. It's like, no, I want the truth.
No, they don't do that. They don't. No. Once they're up there and they've seen everything from a bird's eye view, they're pretty darn honest. I've seen the guys that are like, spirits can lie for sure. They can lie, but in his situation and from the standpoint he's coming from, there's no reason to lie. You know what I mean? He's not got the ego thing going anymore. There's nothing he has to lose. You know what I mean? But I've heard, it depends on where they're at in their transition too. Some people are still kind of here and haven't transitioned to the light, and those ones will lie like crazy.
And he's transitioned to the light?
Yes, he's chosen the light. He's just watching over you before he totally goes over there to stay. He wants to make sure that you're okay first. He's just kind of being like a guardian angel for you right now. Once he knows that you're okay, he'll be gone.
Do they come back?
Well, they can pop in anytime.
Okay. So there's something I want to show you. I took a walk when I was in Maryland, I just wanted to get out and get some exercise. And they said, well, the best place to go, and it's about, a good mile or more if you walk around the circumference. And it happened to be a cemetery. It was gorgeous. It was a gorgeous walk. There was deer, there's rabbits, there's a fox, there's geese. I mean, there's just like all this wildlife. And it wasn't creepy or anything. It was just I went on a walk. So then my friend Paul was like, oh, let's go see some ghosts. So he took a picture. And I don't know if you're going to get anything out of this. Okay, so this is me standing next to a tombstone.
What is that like?
Paul is looking this way. The light comes this way. It's really, really light. It's super bright. I mean, it's brighter than...
And there was no light there?
No. I mean, his flash wouldn't... He was too far away.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Were you in the cemetery at the time?
Yeah.
Were you looking at a particular tombstone?
I was next to one, but I think I was saying to myself, it's time to get on with what I have to be doing down here.
Okay.
Because I've had and Dennis knows, I had a hard time leaving my ex, the one that I wasn't healthy with.
Okay.
And I had a really hard time leaving him, but I wouldn't be able to progress if I was still there.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Does that make sense?
So let me ask about this light. Does it have, I'm not looking at it right now, but is there like blue or green around it?
I can't really tell. I don't know.
Yeah, that's green. It's white with green around it. Believe it or not, let me just double check on this and make sure. It was a fairy. It was a fairy, and the reason that
This is the tombstone that the light was shining on.
Okay. So, and the reason that it was a fairy is because you were so in tune with the elementals and with the wildlife that was going on. And so it wanted to appear for you. It was kind of like a blessing to actually be able to see one is a big deal. So I think it was just thanking you for your appreciation for all the beauty and all the nature that was around that you were appreciating all day. So I think that's what you saw.
Isn't that cool?
It's really neat.
Did anything follow Paul back? Because Paul's been having nothing but problems.
Okay, let me check on that.
Because he was kind of like being a little, I'm like, Paul, don't do that.
No.
Oh, good.
Nothing's followed him. It's his, let me look at him for a minute. I don't work on people unless I have their permission, but I can kind of peek to see what might be going on for a second to see. No, it's...
Okay.
It's more about his attitude and what he's thinking.
He's had a lot of water damage at his house on all 3 levels now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
A lot of,
Yeah, you can have him call me, but...
is he somebody I should maybe distance myself from, or
Yes, I got a big yes. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a
con man. Kind of.
I would. Maybe. Negative for sure. Like not negative, even manipulative.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll feel icky around him if you're around him too much. You'll start to question your sanity yourself. You'll start to wonder if something's wrong with you. Mm-hmm. Probably not good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Sedona, if I let my ex, which would be really beneficial for her to have ball time, walks, camping, hiking.
She'll love it.
Will I get her back?
Yeah. Yeah, He'll be grateful. He'll be grateful to have that time with her. He's really good with her.
She is.
Really good.
I just don't need her attacking Milo. And right now our situation is weird. I mean, by having another dog come into the...
Let me look at Milo for. Let me talk to Milo for a minute. Milo's really happy with you too. Yeah, he feels like he's found his new home. He's happy. So good job.
Yeah, he's my little baby. I
The
carry.
stepchild now feels
Yeah.
like the child. That's
Yeah, yeah. So, and I just don't want Sedona to think that I'm abandoning her. Can you talk to her and let her know that I'll do it? I just need her daddy to.
good. Totally, she's all for it. Yeah, she doesn't feel bad at all.
Well, I do. But you understand that with the
Yeah,
cat.
totally. Yeah.
But as long as I get her back, 'cause she's getting older and older, and I'm missing my time with her.
Yeah.
You know, while I'm healthy, I'm missing my time with my girl.
Yeah. And she loves you, and she's loved the time with you. And she's loved the way that you pamper her and take care of her and everything. She just wants to go have fun. I think she knows too that it's her last time, so she wants to spend that time doing those fun, adventurous things while she can.
Is she gonna go soon?
Not too sure. Not too sure. I mean, it's not going to be too soon.
Yeah, I mean
But she definitely wants to
9.
get in the fun. She wants to get in some fun before she goes.
Before where she has to be locked in the house all day for 8 hours while I'm working, and
She sees all that coming, and she might even spare herself from that somehow. She doesn't want to go through all that.
being locked in the
Aches
house.
and pains and having peeing on the floor and all that. No, she doesn't want to. She may create some kind of an accident or something like that to get out. So don't feel bad if something should happen like that.
Oh, she better not do it under my...
I know, huh?
I need my time with her to hike with her and
no,
enjoy her.
Yeah, she'll make sure she'll make sure she's got her adequate time with you before she goes. Yeah, for sure. It's important to her to do that.
Okay. All right, now I have to muster up the... What is the best way to get a positive reaction with my ex? I mean,
positive reaction, like
just
when?
interactions with him.
Okay, that's a good question. Let me see.
Because it's hard. Because apparently
Being respectful to him.
Okay.
Being very, don't anticipate that there's going to be any kind of a battle. Just be very respectful and polite and short and brief and to the point. No discussions. Just kindness and respect.
Okay.
Don't talk about the past. Don't talk about any kind of quarrels. None of that. It feels like if you make a grand gesture toward something that would kind of surprise him or blow his mind that way, something you'd normally kind of be like, I can't believe that any of that type of thing. I feel like if you make an effort to bite your tongue, it'll set things in motion for you guys to have a better
Interaction.
Yeah.
It's tough.
because he'll be surprised. It'll touch his heart that you cared enough to refrain.
It's just hard. He's with the neighbor.
Yeah.
That makes it tough.
Yeah.
It's like, really?
would be.
The neighbor?
Well, you know what though? Just like you said though.
Yeah.
It's meant to be. It's
Yeah.
good. It's a good thing. And it'll be just as meant to be when you're with this wonderful guy that you might see.
That you keep peeking in on.
Yeah, that he might see you with. It's all
Yeah.
just part of you just realize that it's all just part of all of us just going along on our path. You smell one rose, then you smell a carnation, and then you see a beautiful rainbow. It's all just beautiful as you go along. Just appreciate it all. You don't have to be upset that you're sniffing this rose and you were just sniffing a carnation and so was he. It's just the same thing. Just on a different scale. We don't have to make it so personal, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't need to be. Because it's all just love playing out.
Okay. And I have a job coming soon.
Yes.
Yes.
And you knew that.
Well, I do.
I feel like you even have a feeling of where you're going to be, and it's true.
I have options. I just don't know what they are. And
I
that's
feel
what.
an office. It feels definitely going to be an office environment.
Okay. I mean,
And you're going to really like it.
that's what I keep telling myself. I'm really going to like it. I just see myself like loving this job, just, having good interactions with the people around me, doing really well, and flourishing. And getting back into my groove and my confidence back and it's all coming back. And I'm meeting wonderful ladies to go do things with.
It's awesome. I mean, I just have a really good feeling about where you're headed.
Good. Good.
So keep me apprised.
I will. Well, thank you. Thank you. And thank you for the ferry, because I didn't know what that was.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It was way too far away for it to be a light source from where he was standing when he took the picture. And when you actually see it, it comes from the top through the corner down to the ground.
They can also appear as fireflies. If you should see some fireflies sometime.
Really?
They can appear like that. Or you may see a firefly with little legs. If you look close.
There's lots of fireflies in Oklahoma where I was. Wow. All right. Well, I think you answered a lot of things I really wasn't wanting to hear. I have to give Sedona, but it would be good for her, at least for a month.
And good for you, too. Everything is always good for everybody.
Just to have her be happy and stable while I stabilize.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Because I'm still trying to get stabilized.
Yeah, it's a great solution.
Yeah, it
I know. Yeah.
All right, I'll go approach him.
Okay, cool.
All right, well, are we done?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.